consumers choose where they shop. That's something that we cannot control. What we can control is to make it available on the shelves.
And I want a good show, damn it. Ready for a good show?
Doing awesome, yeah. I'm excited to talk to you, Angie. Thank you for having me.
Yes!
I've always been doing big into archery, and my dad said, hey, you guys want to start an archery store? Yes, that's how I was.
Andrew, yes, of course, let's do this together.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of the E-Comm Show. Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the E-Comm Show. As usual, I'm your host, Andrew Maff, and today I am joined by the amazing Alicia Long of Nutr. Alicia, how you doing? Ready for a good show?
Good. Thank you for having me, Andrew.
Yeah, not a problem. I appreciate you taking the time out. For those of you, obviously, I know you're probably listening on a podcast, but for those of you who might be watching us on our YouTube channel, Alicia is currently at a trade show, so the backdrop is fantastic. How is the trade show going for you so far?
Good. There's about 1,000 vendors behind me, and QVC
Nice.
is here, and Starbucks is here, Costco, and just lots of traction. So sorry that we are getting a little bit busy.
Not a problem at all. That's always a good problem, right?
Yeah.
So obviously I always like to do the stereotypical thing, start off with the basics. So why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself and your background, obviously about Nutr, how you guys got started, and we'll take it from there. Okay.
Yeah, sounds good. So, hi everyone. My name is Alicia Long. I'm the co-founder and CEO of Nutr. So Nutr is a consumer tech company. So we focus on changing the way we milk. So basically what we do provide is all-in-one solutions, not only just the hardware that makes the milk. So it's like a pitcher, but then you just put nuts and water in there, and after a couple of minutes you make plant-based milk. But also in addition to that, we provide the solutions, ingredients as well, because we believe in 100% whole foods. So all of our ingredients are 100% whole foods, non-GMO, all vegan. So a lot of superfoods, vitamins, and minerals to make your own plant-based milk.
Nice. So how did you come up with this idea?
Yeah, so I was actually, that was at the beginning of pandemic, and I was pregnant with my son at that time. And I turned vegan, well, not vegan, plant-based majority of the time, vegan 88% of the time. But I turned to plant-based, and then I dropped about 20 pounds just naturally. And then I was drinking a lot of plant-based milk, like big name brands. And then I started to realize there's a lot of sugar because I had gestational diabetes during my pregnancy. So I had to literally watch everything that I eat, all the sugar content. And then surprisingly, all these big name brands, and they have a lot of emulsifiers, gums, additives, sugar. And I was like, I can't drink this. So I have to make my own. But then the process of making your own plant-based milk is like really long and lengthy. You have to soak the nuts the night before, and you have to blend it, and then take out the big giant Vitamix, and then strain it through cheesecloth. And then if you don't use it, all the 5-6 cups of milk, and then you just go to waste. So it's just very time consuming. So that's the reason why we created Nutr. My husband is a mechanical engineer. So for 16 years, we just focused on product development. So we kind of just got to work. We found a manufacturer that was willing to work with us, and then took about a year and a half to develop the machine, and we took it to market in July of 2021. And then from the first year, it was like 5 months, and then we did $800,000 in sales, and then we knew that was a product market fit. And then, so basically, we started to, obviously our growth, and we grew really, really quickly. And then, basically last year we closed the year at 6.7 million. And so this year we're projected at double the sales. So I think a lot of consumers are just, this is not only just the trend, but also I think the future of food is going all the way back to the ancient time, which is, all
Hmm.
whole foods. So people are really conscious about what they're eating and drinking. So that is never going to go away.
Yeah.
Even since the pandemic, it really started to get people to rethink food. So yeah, that's why you see so many like plant-based and so many like, vegan, non-GMO. Is because you just want it to be simple, right? Because
Yeah.
it's your health and your family's health.
Hmm. Yeah, I completely agree. And in fact, when I told my wife that you were going to be on the show, she's like, "Oh my god, you got to ask her all the questions because we're big coffee drinkers." She's like a barista habit, but like we've got all the different types of milks around, and if there's some kind of ingredient that I can't pronounce, she's like, "Nope, don't buy it. We're not getting it." And so she's like, "Ask her about it, find out about it." I'm like, "Okay, I will let you know." So already a big fan. Um, so very interesting concept. Obviously, there are, I guess if I had to kind of put some similarities behind other aspects, you can also kind of equate it to like almost as if like a soda stream sort of aspect where you can make your own at home. So you do have that added benefit of you can control all the ingredients that you were to put into this kind of thing.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
you've
SodaStream's
seen,
executive is actually on our board of advisor.
oh really? Well, there you go.
Yeah,
So
spot
it's a
on.
very interesting market because I do know that one of the issues that you can kind of come across is taking up counter space. So there's a lot of education behind the market of why this is more beneficial and how I imagine over a certain amount of time, there's probably a savings behind it as opposed to buying the products in grocery
Yeah,
stores and stuff. How are you kind of educating the market on that?
yeah, for sure. Saving is one of them, right? Because average consumer, if you wanted to, for example, your wife, if she makes a decision on, cleaner label product like milk, for
Hmm.
example, it's very clean, just three ingredients, but that price tag is high, right?
Yeah.
And because it's cleaner, I think that should be cheaper, right? So, but for me, is that, if I was an average consumer and I wanted to see, it's healthier for me and also saves me money. So, and that's a conscious decision, right? So for me, it's like we wanted to save money for consumers. So on average per cup of oat milk, it costs like 17 cents for customers to make in another machine. So you actually get the
Hmm.
money back after like 2 to 3 months after the purchase.
Wow.
And then longer term, because it lasts for 5, 6 years. So you don't like our customers, they said that I don't ever go back to get the store bought plant-based milk again because it's just like overpriced water.
Yeah.
Because it's 98% water, it's less than 2% nuts. And for us, you get 20% of the nuts and nutrition and then, less water. And then it's creamier. The result is creamier and also it's cleaner. So it's
Yeah.
not only just saving money aspect, but also from a consumer, like I'm a consumer, I started because I'm a mom and I'm busy all the time. I have one toddler on my one hand and then another hand I'm making something. I don't want to compromise my health by just trying to go like convenient, right?
Yeah.
So that's why we created, it's a single serving. It's a very small, very sleek machine. It takes very little kitchen counter. So you don't have to take out the Vitamix from your pantry and then finesse with all 1,000 pieces and then have to, clean it all and then put it back all together. You can literally, because our machine just like two pieces, just the lid and the bottom. It's like a pitcher. So basically you plug it in and mine is plugged in right next to my Nespresso all the time. And then you just drop the nuts and water and hands free. You just drop it in. You walk away after a couple minutes, 5 minutes, and you get a whole glass of clean, nutritious plant based milk.
Wow, that's awesome. So I know from the business model, very traditional D2C focused. Are you planning on going in kind of a B2B direction? Obviously, this could have so many applications from just like a traditional coffee shop sort of thing. Is there
Yeah.
a more like commercial size, or like what's the plan of going in that direction?
Yeah, definitely. So we just launched the family size. So we're
Ah,
talking to Costco, and they reached out after our Shark Tank aired, and then interested in the family size. So we're discussing about exclusivity with them. But at the same time, I think there's a lot of consumers also wonder about when they can get a bigger size because a lot of them they drink a lot of plant-based milk, so
yeah.
it actually saves them a lot of money. So but in addition to Costco, so we are finalizing our PO with Starbucks. So they're going to sell us across the Reserve stores, including the one in Empire State Building. So very exciting. And also, we're meeting with QVC tomorrow, and as well as some other retailers. We're live on Macy's.com, Bloomingdale's, and Williams Sonoma and Sola Top. So definitely the focus is retail later this year as well as next year.
Nice. So you obviously brought it up, so I guess I'll go ahead and ask. How was the whole Shark Tank thing? Obviously, that's, sometimes I ask people and they're like, I don't want to talk about it. Others, they're like, it was amazing. So I'm always really interested what made you want to sign up for it? What was the whole process like? How has it been post the show? Tell me all about it.
Yeah, so we kind of got lucky, and Shark Tank production actually reached out to us, just wanted us to audition, and we
Nice.
thought, hey, it's a great opportunity, and it was intimidating, but we'd never been on TV before, but the whole experience was just absolutely amazing. Their producers just so easy to work with. So it was a long process, but at the same time, we kind of gone through the whole full experience of Sony production, and then we're like, oh, I feel like a celebrity here. But then, really for us, being on the Shark Tank is kind of like a milestone for us. Really just a validation of our brand. Hey, like we're being recognized. And then the experience was good. All the sharks were super nice, but it was a little intimidating when you have so many like cameras and lights, and we're just like overwhelmed. But at the same time, I think we did well. We walked away without a deal on purpose, because they're sharks, and we wanted to protect our equity, and so we have other existing investors. But then after the show, we raised close to $2 million after the show.
Nice. And so once the show aired, and has it re-aired since?
Yes, it has.
So did you see an immediate jump, obviously on the airing date, and then again every time it was re-aired?
Yeah. So every time I think we nearly sold out after after they aired it again, but it was a good problem to have. And then I think our customers are very patient, and then just wanted to work with us, and then and Shark Tank did give us a huge lift in sales.
Nice. Obviously, there's always that huge lift, but as time goes on, there'll be new episodes out that starts to fall off. So what's your approach from a marketing perspective? What tends to be those top channels that you guys are catering to right now?
Yeah, definitely. I think that's right now it's omni-channel stage, right? So it's not only single channel. D2C, during the pandemic was really hot, right? And then, but in the end of the day, D2C only makes up 15% of total sales in the United States. So I think the if you're trying to scale as a brand and as a business, you definitely should think about retail still, because after the pandemic, a lot of brands start getting back into the brick and mortar, and we're at the show, and there's still a lot of retail buyers are buying for their stores. So I think purchasing power is still is very strong in retail. So I think just figuring out distribution, D2C is really another one of the nice avenue, right? So it makes up the whole brand awareness, and then when people consumers choose where they shop, and that's something that we cannot control. What we can control is to make it available on the shelves, so when they walk past the shelf at Target, they're like, oh, this is my sister's birthday, and I'm gonna grab it because I saw it online on Instagram or TikTok. So that's the type of omni channels that we're trying to achieve, not only just at D2C but also in the retail as well.
Gotcha. So the 15% that you're focused on the D2C side, is that inclusive of any marketplaces? Are you available on any marketplaces? Obviously like an Amazon or a Walmart or something like that?
Yeah. So our brand is definitely a little bit towards premium. So we are mostly available on, we are on Amazon, but also we're on like Macy's.com, WilliamsSonoma.com, and Starbucks as well. But I think for marketplace, it's another channel. I think D2C, what I mentioned about D2C is actually the overall US sales. So for our channel right now, we're still doing about, I say there's about 70-80% is still in D2C. And then we're doing about 20% on Amazon. And then we're expanding on Amazon. But at the same time, we wanted to, when you're in online space, it's very crowded, right? And you're competing kind of with yourself between different channels. But you also wanted to diversify. So what we're trying to do is diversify different income streams. So for example, when we're online, we don't necessarily only push advertising on Facebook. We're only pushing for Google, because the more competitors that you have, more brands are competing for eyeballs, the more expensive it gets. So, and then you're just competing for, if you wanted to drive up the growth, and then your ROAS efficiency goes down, CAC goes up, then, everyone knows, okay, we're not profitable on Facebook, and then how can we, drive up the growth, right? So that's what happens with a lot of brands that we study, is that, they will raise big money, venture capital money, and then because their CAC so high, and hoping that people will come back for subscription. But at the same time, they also need to understand the more competitors that they have, the CAC is just continue going to drive up. And so then, profitability becomes a really, really hard for D2C brands. So if you have a brand, you're going to think about, okay, how do I achieve profitability? No matter if you are trying to, get the VC money, or raise a run of capital, we're just trying to be, remain profitable, right? And so single channel has to make sense in order for you to, amplifying your growth. So and what happens with a lot of brands is that, they will just keep raising money, keep dumping money in Facebook or Google advertising in performance space, and then kind of just forget about the organic side. I believe that grass is greener when you water it. So the more effort that you put in the organic, and chances are, and you will start seeing efficiency.
Mm-hmm.
So in the omni-channel space, you just really have to take a look at what are the different channels that, are getting are contributing to your overall revenue, right? We have the performance marketing, which is paid advertising. We also have the organic channels, which is TikTok marketing. And then, so for TikTok, it's very different than TikTok 2 years ago. Why? Because they started to launch their emerging commerce with entertainment. So that's really the whole point of TikTok. They're starting to grab a lot of attention from Instagram, from YouTube, from Twitter, right? And then it grew to, over 1 billion downloads within 2 years, and it's unheard of.
Yeah.
So, and then the reason why they're really building that platform, of course, they're trying to take market shares and then trying to profit. How do they do that? Through an entertainment channel, is through commerce. So they have launched it across 8 other countries, including the UK, including China and South Asia. They have done it very successfully. The US is actually the next one. So basically, it's a big pie. So what we are starting to doing is to do a TikTok live and TikTok, short videos. So not short videos is one form, TikTok live is another form. It works a little bit different than Instagram and YouTube. So for example, if you have a TikTok live that's going on, right? And then for Instagram live, only your followers can see your live, but for TikTok it's otherwise, because you not only your followers can see your live, and also other targeted audience can also go to your live. So before you know it, one person can actually generate millions of views, hundreds of thousands of people looking at your live at the same time. It's literally like QVC on TikTok, and it converts. And that becomes another income stream of ours, and then starting to perform really well with with efficiency.
And so are those live videos that you're doing on your own brand, or is that something that you're leveraging like influencers for or something?
Both. We're building a team of influencers as well as brand ambassadors to be able to be our advocates, tap into their own followers, but also for us, we also bring on creators and create on our own behalf and train a TikTok algorithm how to go from the new account to steady account to celebrity influencer account, and then generate more followers, and then so you can basically promote, advertise to them for free, right? On organic over and over again without costing advertising dollars.
And so with all the marketing efforts that you're doing, obviously you mentioned, organic being heavy, TikTok, they can convert directly on TikTok, but then you also have the paid ads you were discussing, any kind of SEO efforts that you guys are doing, that kind of stuff. Since only about 15% of the business is online right now, and the rest obviously being through your retail outlets, are you solely focused on marketing from a digital perspective, or are you doing anything from a traditional standpoint, any kind of print or commercial or like, audio, anything along those lines?
We started to discuss that. I think this is a marketing roadmap, right?
Hmm.
That you have to build out, and it's not just single channel will perform so well and you double down the effort. It's a
Yeah.
combination of performance marketing with organic, with print, with obviously retails to create the omni-channel. So you have this brand awareness, and you also have the bucket to capture your traffic. So I think it's just a lot of data analysis, and then taking a look at your existing, who's the one coming to your site, who's the one who converts, actually check out. So
Yeah.
these are a lot of a data deep dive, and so I talk a lot about the tactics on my own course. So we documented the whole TikTok marketing organic effort, so that we can share with more entrepreneurs who just starting out, or maybe wanted to pivot from performance marketing to other organic channels. So and I have a website. It's called newecommera.com, and I'll share with your audience after the show.
Perfect. Beautiful. Alicia, really appreciate your time. I don't want to take up too much of your time. I know you're super busy over the trade show, but I'd love to give the opportunity to let everyone know where they can find out more about you and, of course, more about Nutr.
Yeah, absolutely. So my handle is at official Alicia Long. So it's ALICIA. And also my my website, it's called New E-Comm with double M, era.com. And then I'll send you an email after our show. And then on our course, we train and develop entrepreneurs to have the mindset to monetize on TikTok, not only just from a brand awareness aspect, but also increasing your engagement and efficiency, so you'll be able to generate income and revenue profitably.
Beautiful. Alicia, really appreciate having you on the show. Everyone else who tuned in, obviously, thank you as well. Please make sure you do the usual, rate, review, subscribe, all that fun stuff on whichever podcast platform you prefer, or head over to the ecommshow.com to check out all of our previous episodes. But as usual, I appreciate you all joining us, and I will see you all next time. Have a good one.
Thank you for tuning in to the E-Comm Show. Head over to ecommshow.com to subscribe on your favorite podcast platform or on the BlueTuskr YouTube channel. The E-Comm Show is brought to you by BlueTuskr, a full-service digital marketing company specifically for e-commerce sellers looking to accelerate their growth. Go to BlueTuskr.com now for more information. Make sure to tune in next week for another amazing episode of the E-Comm Show.